Hey, so this is one of those videos that is going to go unlisted, but you ladies can check it out if you choose to while it is unlisted. But I just wanted to come and I just wanted to have a conversation with like the ladies and just get an idea. And I hope everybody can hear me when they start to come in. I wanted to get an idea of kind of where we are as Black women, as far as our relationships with each other, and the loyalty that we kind of choose to have with each other. Hey, Felicia. So I'm going to tell you what prompted this. There were two things that prompted me to want to talk about this, and I'm not going to. Hi, Omi. I'm not going to leave this public. I'm going to make it unlisted, so you can still access this video, but I am going to put it unlisted, right? So, I'm subscribed to YouTube channels and I have a family. So I like families where there's Black women and they have cute kids and stuff like that. And I'm wondering like if I should use names or not. What do you guys think? Should I use names or no? Maybe I won't use names. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you guys just know what I'm talking about. How about that? So, um there's a young lady here on YouTube. Um, she's in her 20s. She has been on YouTube, I think, since she was in college. So she's a college graduate. Kind of a good girl type, doesn't really party. Just a sweet girl. And she's just kind of been living her life on YouTube, just a regular girl's life on YouTube. She has a little business where she sells like hair extensions and things like that. And she got into a relationship with, I, I guess, a bad boy type, you could say, right? um, and had two beautiful twin daughters, and recently had a third child, but they're not married, right? And so this man that she was with kind of went behind her back and got into a relationship with a woman who is the complete opposite of her. So just to paint a picture, and I'm not yet casting judgment on either lady. One lady is a college graduate, no tattoos, does not go out, doesn't live a wild life. She's really just a good girl. Like I said, one of those girl next door, the kind of woman that generally would end up getting married because, she's pretty, but she's not too pretty, right? She's intelligent, but she's submissive. All of those things. The other lady is a former stripper. I think she's a bottle girl now, has lots of tattoos, is more kind of out in the world, in her, twerking and, kind of just out in the world. She's like on a different page. So basically, there are two different types of women. And after living with this woman, his girlfriend, right? And having a public relationship with her, he goes and he's cheating on her with the woman who's her complete opposite. And that young lady also gets pregnant. These are all young people, right? And so now he has three children with one lady and um, a boy. So three girls with one lady and a little boy with another lady. And so, as you can imagine, these girls are kind of pregnant at the same time, and their children, their newest children, are, very close together in age. And so I was watching all this play out because, I silently watch like her little vlogs and, her with her little kids. And she has a daily vlog, which I imagine is like a lot of work with her children. And what I noticed is that when she was cheated on and he had a baby because she's on YouTube, and I think a lot of times when you're a good girl, right? When you're a goody two shoes, so to speak, that it makes other people uncomfortable, right? And when you make other people feel uncomfortable because maybe they don't live their life as square as you live your life, it can make people hate you, not because you're doing anything outlandish, but because you don't do anything outlandish. And so anytime you do anything that's not perfect, people are looking for a reason to hate you because your simplicity of life makes them feel some kind of way about themselves, right? So there's a lot of hate channels on YouTube, but there's one woman in particular who literally has 30 or 40 videos in a row that are just about this young lady. And these videos are hours long, and she screams and she hollers and she's vile. And she let somebody come on her platform who released this young lady's home information. So as a YouTuber, a woman with three little girls that are all tiny babies, basically, now the whole world knows where she lives, right? Exactly where to find her. And so, yeah, it's obsessive. I agree. And the part of this that really kind of freaked me out was the woman that was aware that she was sleeping with somebody who was in a relationship. That man had lied to her and kind of tried to downplay his relationship, even though the young lady has a vlog, so you can see them being a family together. So he's lying, you know how some men do, they lie or whatever. But what was crazy is that a lot of people were angry, right, at the young woman who was cheated on. And literally, the side chick, for lack of a better term, has been able to build an entire channel where all of her supporters are people who hate the woman whose man she was a side chick for. And I saw, I'm looking around and I see women saying like, the woman doesn't owe your relationship any loyalty and all of this stuff that these young girls are saying. And it got me thinking about, and then, you have the crazy, obsessed lady off in the corner somewhere. And it got me thinking about our relationship with each other as women, right? And what loyalty we owe to each other as women. And I want to expand this conversation to discuss many things, right? Because as women, we are often pitted against each other. And first and foremost, I want to say, I am just only speaking on this because I cannot believe how out of control this has gotten. I cannot imagine just thousands of women showing up to a channel where you scream at the top of your lungs and berate another woman and, talk badly about her children and give out her personal information. She has people calling and threatening her life. And as a YouTuber who is not that big, when I first came on YouTube, I had that people threatening rape and, weird kind of stalker people and stuff like that. So I can imagine this young lady has, over 500,000 subscribers. Can you imagine how many crazy people might follow her that out of that 500,000? So, and then the other child's mother is, she's linking up with the crazy lady who's got the 30 or 40 videos in a row, these 2 and 3 and 4 hour videos on this woman. She's linking up with her and going on her channel to get a bag. And it's just like, wow, this is insane. And it got me thinking, like, we owe each other loyalty as women. We really do. I don't understand this new idea that the woman has no loyalty to your relationship. Obviously, a man who is cheating is the person that is the most wrong in a relationship, right? The cheater is the most wrong party. But as women, you have to recognize, for example, it can be you, right? When you're searching for a man and you think you found a man with money or with the qualities that you like, but he is in a whole relationship with a woman, and that's something else, like dating's not married. No, you know that if a person's in a committed relationship, that's a relationship. In the same way that you would expect loyalty from the man that you live or sleep with, whether you're married or not, if you're in a committed relationship, that's the same way that we should interpret the loyalty that is expected for other people, right? So that's number one. Number two, as women, you can always be in that other woman's shoes. You can always be the woman that is being cheated on. You can always be the woman who is being used by a man who has no intention to be with you, but wants to get in your panties. You can be the one who's being lied to on either side. And so the thing that allows us to be abused as women is that we have no loyalty to each other. As a woman to another woman, we are so cutthroat as women that we will literally sit up and say we have no loyalty to another woman. No, the thing that shuts down, men only operate in where their options are. Okay? So where there's a hoe to be found, or a side chick to be found, or a woman who will let a man treat her badly in a relationship to be found, there is an opportunity for a bad man to take advantage. Right? There's an opportunity for a bad man to take advantage. And so we as women have a lot of control over how well we are treated in society. Right? We as women have a lot of power over how we are treated as women. And that does not. So Mr.'s funny. He said, ladies' night, really? What he said, what about the niggas? He said, ladies' night, really? What about the niggas? Well, I wanted to talk to women because as women, this is a woman's problem, right? Because when we're in a relationship, the man, if we're lucky, right, is going to be, if he's going to cheat, we hope he's cheating with another woman. So we as women have to have this conversation with each other. I mean, I don't know. I really want to, I should have done this a different way because I can't invite anybody up, but I really wanted to speak on this because we do owe each other loyalty as women. We do owe each other loyalty as women. And this doesn't just extend to not sleeping with each other's husbands and significant others. It's not just about that, right? It's not just about that. It's about not allowing ourselves to be weaponized against other women. So you know that people will weaponize women against other women. They will weaponize us based on our looks, based on our weight, based on our perceived value. And a lot of times when somebody is upholding you and making you feel good and all of that, then you, because you're the one who's being chosen, will allow yourself to be used to demean another woman, to tear another woman down. But honey, that can be you. There's something that my mother told me, okay? And I'm gonna keep it 1,000. And I'm not trying to flex. But if I go to a public place like me, Irene, and I'm not the most attractive woman on the face of the planet by far, but 9 times out of 10 in any environment I go into, I'm either the most attractive person there or I'm one of the most attractive people there. Period. But something my mom told me when I was young is God has always made somebody prettier than you. Period. There's always another woman who is more attractive than me. There's always another woman who's more attractive than you. So we can get up on our high horses when we are uplifted over another woman because as women, we like validation. We like to be adored. We are women, but be very clear that there's a few somebodies who can knock you off your little pedestal because they are better physically than you, because their minds are together more than you, because they've kept their life together more than you. So it's very easy to be uplifted and demean another woman's value, but trust and believe your value can be demeaned too. So perhaps as women, we should not play this devaluation game amongst each other, right? No matter what we might think of ourselves, or no matter how much we might seek somebody else's validation, we should recognize that you can be pushed to the bottom too. Because where there's a group of pretty females, there's always the one who's the least pretty. And that could be you. That could be me. So that we should not allow ourselves to be weaponized against other women. We should not allow our bodies, our appearance, our ourselves, our vaginas to be praised above another woman. Not to get her man, not to feel good on the street, at the club, in a relationship. It is not right. We owe each other the loyalty to recognize that the weapon somebody uses to uplift you, that gun can be turned and pointed in the other direction, and you can be on the other end of that. So this whole idea that women, we don't owe each other loyalty, I don't agree with that. This is some 2020, 2021 young woman stuff that is very stupid. And I'm going to bring this into ageism too, right? Because let's be clear, my young ladies, youth has a value, and beauty and youth on a woman has a greater value. But there are many older women who will give you a run for your money physically. And number two, the same men that uplift you in your youth will be quick to tell you when they're ready to put you in your place that your clock is ticking and your value is devalued. See, the thing is that Mother Nature is undefeated. So the validation, again, as women, we may get when we are 19 or 20 or 25 or 30 or 40 over an older woman, you will be that older woman one day. So again, we owe each other loyalty as women. And make no mistake, the very things that we are told matter about us cease to matter when somebody's body is better or somebody's face is prettier. It's funny how these goalposts really move, because if you're a 22-year-old with a bad body, and bad I mean by messed up body, and a mediocre face, suddenly that 30-year-old woman is elevated above you. So the flip-floppiness of it all is for us to perpetually be in competition with each other. Older women, the younger women are there for us to nurture, not to hate on them. We're not to hate on their youth. We're not to hate on their beauty because they are young. But younger women, you better believe the type of men who are trifling enough to uplift you simply because of youth and beauty are the same men who will cast you aside when you don't have youth and beauty. So as older women, we owe our loyalty to young women. And as younger women, you owe your loyalty to us. As women, we owe loyalty to each other. Because whatever pedestal they place us on, it is only for our own manipulation. The downfall of women is that we infight so much. We fight each other so much. We feel in competition with each other. We allow people to make us feel like we are in competition with each other. We allow ourselves to be devalued. We, something that's really popular is people say nobody wants to compete for a mate. First and foremost, we're not animals. We're not mating with each other. That's not what we're doing. We're not beasts, right? There should be no competition because at the end of the day, a person who loves you and who is feeling you and who wants to be with you is going to choose you. And you don't have to fight anybody for their loyalty and their love. If you have to fight for somebody's loyalty and love, that is a person who is not loyal to you and does not love you. So this idea that nobody wants to compete, no, nobody wants to compete. Does that mean that we're not going to be judged on our physical appearance, our intelligence, can we cook, things like that? No, because everybody has things that they desire in a mate. But as far as you as a woman or me as a woman being in a relationship feeling like we have to always be on guard for the next chick to keep our mate, this is not Wild Kingdom. Nobody wants to be in a relationship, male or female, with somebody who is simply looking for the next best thing. And quite as it's kept, a healthy minded man, he doesn't want to be demeaned to his checkbook or his physical appearance any more than you want to be demeaned to your body and your face. Healthy minded people just want to be loved. They want to be treated right. They want to feel safe in their relationship. They want to have somebody that's loyal to them. But as a woman, we buy into this hook, line, and sinker because there's nothing more beneficial than a bunch of chicks who will never get on because we think every woman is an opportunity for us to be in competition with somebody. And this brings me to sexiness, right? Now, you guys know I like a little bit of sexy. I really do. I like a little bit of sexy. But also, like, my sexy is coming from like a whole different place. I'm a woman and I know that women who have given birth, like having a womb that is capable of producing healthy offspring is not viewed as a positive in our Black community for some reason, which is the most twisted thing I've ever heard. Right? You can have a woman who has ripped, had 7 babies ripped out of her womb, be held on a pedestal, but a woman who can produce healthy babies be diminished as if producing a healthy child is somehow a bad thing. But as a woman and a mother who has had the full experience of womanhood, I've had natural childbirth, I've nursed babies from my breast. I'm in love with my body because I'm in love with my womanhood. I'm in love with my hair, my breasts, my hips, my legs, my lips. I love myself because I love my womanhood. Like, I stand in the power of the fact that I am a woman. I look at my children and I'm like, damn, you made some intelligent, beautiful children. I look at my adult children and I'm like, that one that speaks 7 languages, that's my genes. I did that. And I feel good about that. I'm like, this is grade A genetics here. A++. So when I have my swag and my swag is a little sexy, I'm standing in all that womanhood that I've earned throughout this life. I'm loving those hips that birthed children I can be proud of. Pride is a bad thing. I don't want to use the word pride, but children I can cherish and who do me honor, right? When people engage them, they're like, "Man, that young man is quality. He's intelligent. He's good-hearted." Right? So I own my womanhood, and that womanhood because I am beautiful. And I'm not saying that to be vain. I'm saying that because I'm inwardly beautiful. I work for that beauty. People are attracted to that. And I'm comfortable with that because people ought to be attracted to our womanhood and our beauty. But that is a very different thing from thinking that you are liberated from being hoish. Because now women think we find our liberation, and sexy and vulgar are two totally different things. Okay? And it seems, if you cannot, because I feel like a whole woman with no makeup on and a bun in my head and a bun in my hair running to the grocery store. I don't have to be half naked to feel like a woman. All women look good half naked. Well, some of us don't look that good half naked, but you understand what I'm saying. Everybody looks more attractive the more clothes that you take off of them, right? There's nothing liberating about being half naked and somebody being attracted to you. Girl, we're women. When we start peeling apart layers of clothing, yes, it's more attractive. Attractive as in it attracts people sexually to you. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but that is not liberation. That's not gaining confidence. A confident woman is confident even when she's fully covered. That doesn't mean that you have to be fully covered. That means that you don't derive your confidence from your sexuality. It is okay to be sexual. It is not okay to derive your confidence from your sexuality, though. Your confidence should come from your womanhood, should come from you knowing your worth, should come from your growth as a woman. Your confidence doesn't come via your sexuality. And the name of the game, and here's the thing. A lot of times women will hate on a sexy woman because we're not her, right? You don't have her hair, you don't have her breasts, you don't have her butt, you don't have her body, you don't have her whatever. And so it reinforces, and this goes back to our loyalty as women, it reinforces the competitive ideation. And it pushes women to be ever more vulgar, not sexy, but vulgar. And there is a difference between sexiness and vulgarity. And the difference is how you carry yourself in your presentation. Um, O'Shea, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He did a video, and in the video, people were rating themselves 1 to 10, right? So you had to pick on a scale of 1 to 10 and you were rating yourself. And the person who asked you to rate yourself, no matter what you said, they would say, "Are you sure? Are you keeping it real? Like you really think you're that?" To see if the people would change their number. And so many of the young women in the video would be like, "Well, did you see my butt? Well, look at me." And so they were literally equating their self-worth. And I know it was supposed to be a base experiment, but I'm just saying in real life as women, we often equate our self-worth to whether or not somebody wants to sleep with us. And I'm here to tell you now, especially for you young women, a man wanting to sleep with you is irrelevant, okay? Men want to sleep with a lot of people. A man wanting to sleep with you and a man wanting you as a partner are two totally different things. So, does male attention bring confidence to women? I think all women would be lying. Any woman who says she doesn't like to get compliments from men is a liar, a straight up liar. I'm going to just say it out front. Everybody likes a compliment, male and female. And if you're a heterosexual woman, you like a compliment from a man. Heck, I even know some gay chicks who are like, they're gay, but like even the dudes are on them. You know what I mean? Like if you're a woman, it's understandable that you would want somebody of the opposite sex to find you desirable. However, a man wanting to have sex with you or you being able to entice a man into sexual desire for you, that does not translate into him caring about you as a human being. And so, this idea that we can find self worth or self esteem or become self confident through our sexuality is honestly the makings of a whore. Can I keep it real? That is the makings of a whore. That's the makings of a pick me. That's not to say that we cannot be sexy. That's not to say that we cannot own our womanhood. Anybody who's looked at any of my videos knows that I'm on board with sexiness and femininity and female swag. I'm like all there. Damn the haters. I'm still there. Because a hater's going to hate no matter what, right? Some people won't be satisfied until you're invisible. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is that our confidence, that has to come from self value and self worth. And I'm going to tell you, it's so much more validating that way. It's so much more validating that way. And then the next woman doesn't have to be your enemy. She doesn't have to be that. We don't need to go after anybody's man, because at the end of the day, a man who will cheat on somebody that thinks that she has his loyalty is not going to care about you either. And so, as women, when we come to respect each other and respect ourselves and appreciate what we are as women, then we will see the respect from men that we desire. Right? We'll see the respect from men that we desire. When we value ourselves more. As women, we have devalued ourselves so much through our internal bickering amongst ourselves, through us thinking that our sexuality is something that can validate our womanhood or our value. And we've turned on each other and we've lost all loyalty. And the situation with this young lady, these two young ladies, where I'm watching women literally break apart because some want to side with the side chick and some want to side with the main chick. And I'm just like, do you not see that all of the women in this situation have been manipulated? But they've allowed themselves to be manipulated. They don't have any loyalty for each other. And had those two women had loyalty to each other as women, because I'm going to tell you something, and let me tell you guys a story. So I was out with, I'm not going to say who it is, but she knows who she is, somebody that I love, somebody I've known since childhood. And it was she, I, it was her man that she had been with for hella long. And it was another friend of hers, right? And I had never met her man before, even though we grew up since childhood together. And we went out in a group together. And her man is a very flirtatious type of dude and a very roaming type of dude. And I don't play that. I don't. Mr. can tell you. Mr. took me out, and we went out with one of his friends and his friend's girlfriend. And when I tell you, I was polite to his friend, but I directed all my attention to his woman. Like, my conversation was for her. Look, you and I are here. We're two women. I'll talk to you. I don't really need to talk to your man. I don't need to know him, deal with him. I'm going to be polite and keep it moving. Right? Because I have loyalty to other women. I know that my swag is very sexy. I know that men will try you if you let them. And I don't give any room or any place for where I stand to be misunderstood. I don't even need to speak to you. I'll speak to your girl. I'll talk to her. Where's your wife at? Me and her can have a conversation. So when I was out with this woman that I've known since my childhood, and her man was acting out, he accused me of being a lesbian because I didn't want to interact with him. He tried to act like he was jealous of my relationship with her because the other chick that was with us was dancing with him on the dance floor. And we're all sexy, right? We're all sexy. I'm not a person to really go out like that, but she wanted to go out and I was meeting her man, and so I got dressed. I put on a cute little dress. I did sexy Irene, and so we all looked nice and we're all attractive women. And I just was focused on her, right? I don't have any conversation for you, dude. You're not my man. So if it's not an essential thing I need to say to you, then I don't have anything to say to you. But the other chick was dancing with him on the dance floor and taking shots with him and being flirtatious. And I could see how uncomfortable my childhood friend was with what was going on. And I think for the first time, because I had never been around her man, you know, I'd never been around her man. I think for the first time, she realized just how real of a friend I was. But that is not something I extended to her because we knew each other since childhood. I treat every woman with the same level of respect. Every single woman. Every single woman. I'm old school. I won't even gaze in a man's eyes for too long. Let me keep it 1,000. You know, like I'm old school where I'll make eye contact and then divert my eyes. I don't even want you to think that we're vibing. There's no vibe. I have no vibe with you. I have a vibe with your wife. I have a vibe with your girlfriend. I have no vibes with you. I vibe with my man. I don't need to vibe with you. And that is the loyalty we owe each other as women. I don't understand this culture of, as women, it just doesn't matter. Oh, if he's not married, then he's single. Okay, ho. That's a hoish mindset. I'm going to just call it as I see it. That's a ho's mindset. A desperate woman's mindset. A desperate woman thinks like that. A hoe thinks like that. Some woman that thinks she's in competition with every other woman thinks like that. A lady doesn't think like that. Look, if you're not married, but you're professing yourself to be in a relationship with another woman, then you're her man. Because I'm not even trying to flex with somebody that moves funny. You don't have anything for me if you're going to move funny with her. What am I going to do with you? Nothing. There's nothing I'm about to do with you. I see your whole character. And honestly, the more sloppy women are, the more sloppy and home moving we are as women, the sloppier men are going to get. And then we're all going to be over here complaining about how men cheat and men aren't loyal and men this and that, and they're dehumanizing us and men only want us for our bodies. Well, you know what? Because we're all moving sloppy out here, ladies. Stop. We need to collectively stop moving sloppy and start respecting each other as women. It is a sad day. Just to get back to what got me on this topic, it is a sad day when a woman is in an open relationship with a man and bears 3 of his children, and another woman gets pregnant by him, and there are literally thousands of women who will attack the woman who has been cheated on. When there are hate channels built for this young lady, where people are giving out her address and threatening her life, where the side chick is being upheld like some kind of great woman. Look, she's not the worst woman, but she's not the best woman either, because you knew that he had a whole family. Like something is wrong with us as Black women, because these are all, one might not be quite Black, but these are all Blackish or Black women. Something is very wrong with us as Black women when we honestly think we don't have loyalty amongst ourselves, or when we think that our lack of loyalty to each other does not affect how men deal with us. It affects it. Our lack of loyalty affects how we are treated as a collective. Our lack of self respect and respect for each other affects how our relationships go, if they can last, how often you're going to come across a cheater. All of those things matter. Honestly, I won't even let another woman's man move funny with me. I know women, I know women who will know that a man is in a relationship, women who will know that a man is in a relationship, but accept him complimenting her on how she looks. Oh, girl, you're a 10. Oh, you look nice today. We'll entertain his flirtations. There are women who are like that. No loyalty. But girl, what you don't recognize, what a lot of us as women don't recognize, is the man who will disrespect a woman that he is with to move funny with you is disrespecting you too. That's what the game is. That's really the truth of the game. Is while you think you're being chased, you're really just being disrespected. And this is what the new culture of side chicks needs to realize. Honestly, because it's easy to get boxed into the side chick box. And I don't know any woman that prefers to be in the side chick box. Now, some of us might like to not have to be bothered with the man every now and again. We need a break. Every woman doesn't want a man up under her all the time. But no woman honestly just wants to be the side chick, the when I have time chick. Nobody really wants that for themselves. So why don't we create a culture amongst ourselves where we do not promote that stuff? Where it is hard for that to thrive, where we can all be valued as women. That is, I've been rambling, you guys. I'm on a whole rant. But that is just some food for thought. You know? That is some food for thought. Because I just feel like we're starting to move really weirdly as women. And what's crazy is the weirder we move, the loudest men in the room are the most dysfunctional. So we're moving weirdly, and then they see opportunities to take advantage of how we are disloyal to each other. And then a bunch of women are now hating men because all the men you encounter seem funny style. Well, they're funny style because we move funny too. At the end of the day, people are only going to be as twisted as their options allow them to be. If you don't take anything else away from this like adult rant that I'm making, people only move as funny as they have the option to move. If we move with more respect collectively as women, then we will have less issues with men moving funny with us because their options will be very limited. If we move collectively whorish as women, well, then they're going to move collectively like they're dealing with a bunch of whores. Do you follow what I'm saying? Maybe y'all don't hear me. Because, sometimes like extreme logic it just stops making sense. Right? It just stops, when you start saying logical stuff, I know it'll jump over the heads of some. But that is just some food for thought. These are the things that were on my mind. I seriously hope that that both of these young ladies, right, that they come into their womanhood. Because at the end of the day, these are two women who share children by the same man, which means that their children are siblings, which means y'all don't need to fight. You guys are going to need to become either sister wives, okay? Like sometimes we just need to keep it real too, ladies. Wait, can I just talk about one more thing? Can I just talk about keeping it real? If your man is very caught up in a second woman and you don't plan on going anywhere and she doesn't plan on going anywhere, well, you guys might as well stop fighting, okay? Why are you keeping up the illusion of, you're going to get a monogamous relationship where you know that this man is not about that life? He's in love with two women. You better just go ahead and get your monogamy on. Like I'm serious. Like if you're doing it anyway, you could be stressed out and monogamous or openly monogamous. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be delusional and monogamous or open and monogamous? Because if you're not going to leave the relationship, uh not monogamous, but polygamous, you know? You can be delusional and polygamist or you can be open and polygamous. But if your man is moving and you know that he's got another woman and he's got kids and your kids are about the same age and all this stuff, that's your sister wife, girl. That y'all are in a relationship together. All of y'all. All three. Especially if your children are close in age. So you might want to get together with her and him and you guys have a real adult conversation. Because I don't know about you guys. First of all, it couldn't be me. It could not be me. It could not be me. I would have to leave the whole relationship after I toss some stuff. But if I chose to stay in a relationship like that, oh, we're about to be a sister wife together. Yes, sir. Our kids are having play dates. You can have him 3 days a week. I'll take him 4. Then we'll flip it the next week, girl. Because I'm not personally going to be in a delusion. A lot of women are sharing a man and know they're sharing a man. And you know this man's never going to be monogamous to you. And you will fight with this other woman for years. Chicks will be out here beefing with another chick for months and years. And your man is steadily sleeping with the both of you because you want to be in a delusion and pretend that that's your man. No, that's your plural man. It's your man and her man. You guys share a man. You guys are a family. So that's another aspect of it. Like at the very least, be honest with yourselves. Right? As women, sometimes we're just not honest with ourselves too. We cause our own misery. If you don't want to leave a man and you know he's got a whole nother family, then you know what? You guys need to have a whole conversation as a family. You, her, him, together, figure out how you're going to make it work, how you're going to divide this time. Because you guys are going to divide the time anyway, or you need to leave. Like a lot of times as women, we have a lot of animosity toward each other because we don't want to live in reality. You don't want to live in reality. I'm not going to share. Girl, you're sharing anyway. So you might as well woman up, accept the man that you chose, the two of you chose together, or the three of you, or however many of you guys chose together. You know what? And author your life. Don't let anybody judge you on it because you'll be a happier person for it. You won't need to feel the need to sneak through his phone and be doing weird stuff because you know how he moves. And if you just come to an understanding, and honestly, for women who are in that position, and like I said, it could never be Irene. I could not be in that position, y'all, because any man who's been with me knows I'm crazy. So, first of all, you wouldn't survive, right? You wouldn't survive to be in a polygamous relationship with me. But if I chose to be in that situation, you better believe I'm going to get on with this other woman. If I have kids by somebody, okay, so I don't have this problem. But if I had children and another woman had children and we had children by the same man, I'm about to get on with that woman. Me and you, sweetheart, we're going to have to get along. We just are. And if he's still sleeping with you, well, you know what? I can't get rid of him because that's the father of my children. So I'm either going to be in a relationship with the two of you guys and we're going to be a threesome, or I'm going to kindly exit stage left and I'm still going to get on with you. I'm still going to be your friend, Miss Ma'am, because I need to be able to be sure that our children who are siblings can grow up and know each other and love each other, which means that unfortunately, because he's sticking his thing in everybody, I've got to love this next woman too. I know that's way too deep for some of you ladies. Can you imagine loving the other mother of your man's children? Because your children are siblings, and if you're thinking right, you want your child and their siblings to be close. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be with the man, right? You could kick him to the curb, but what does she have to do with it? Sometimes, if the man is moving funny, the only way your kids are going to see each other is if you and her can get along anyway. This is what I mean, like loyalty among women. I know some of you are out there like, I would never. Da 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 da. That's because you are in a beef with this other woman. That's my whole point, is get out of the beefs with other women. Other women are not our enemy. And I will tell you, you will gain more power with a woman. You will gain more power with a woman by aligning with her and working with her than trying to fight with her. You better get with your sister wife, sweetheart, because the two of you together can get your man in check. Your collective man will be in check when the two of you guys get together. He might rethink what he's doing. He might choose up or get right. You just never know. But you don't help your case because you do know that's why when you are in relationships with men that are cheating, that's why they're always trying to pit the two women against each other. He says bad stuff about her to you. He says bad stuff about you to her because he doesn't want you guys to actually get along. So the smartest thing to do as women would be to get along with each other. That's what I mean. Like we owe each other loyalty. We are more powerful together. We are no matter what the situation is. If she's prettier than you, if it's the girl, your old rival from school, if it's the mother, the other baby's mom or the new wife, whatever the situation is, we are more powerful together. Mister will tell you right now, I don't have a problem anything he does with his ex-wife. They have a child together. That woman birthed a whole child in the world for him. So she's a part of the family, period. Welcome to the family, girl. We're a part of a family together. I don't have any disrespect for her. I'm not checking for when he communicates with her. It doesn't matter to me. That woman birthed your whole child. We're a family. We are a family, right? There's no competition. We just have to have a more mature attitude, period, as we think of things as women. Like we owe each other loyalty as women. We need to stop allowing ourselves to be manipulated and start thinking with our minds and not our hearts all the time. Our hearts will lead us astray. Start to use your brain. Use your brain. Be intelligent. Be pragmatic. Bonquisha and Shaniquas, I'm mad. Mister showed me a little video of somebody named Sharkeisha. I was like, I'm done with life right now. I'm completely done. But you would think that we wouldn't have to say this, but clearly we have to say it because, like I said, the thing that prompted this conversation are two young ladies in their 20s in a war over a man. On one hand, you have the goody two shoes girl next door college graduate. On the other hand, you have the stripper turned bottle girl who's tattooed up and twerking all over the internet. Two different types of women who, because they lacked any loyalty to each other as Black women, are in a situation where now, one person's life is being threatened. You know, everybody's catching a bag off of one chick. There's a crazy stalker lady with a YouTube channel with 30 and 40 videos, epic videos in a row, where she is obsessing over this young lady. Like it has turned into a whole entire war that could have been prevented had these two women got out of their feelings and stopped allowing themselves to be manipulated and communicated with each other as women with respect, Or if one lady would have just kept her legs closed to a man that she knew was in a relationship, that would have really solved the whole problem. Let me tell you something. If you have a roaming man, but every woman closes her legs to him, who's he going to cheat with? This is a trick question. Let me ask it again because I really want to answer. If you have a roaming man, but every chick he meets closes her legs to him, who is he going to cheat with? Who? Who's he going to cheat with? This is not a rhetorical question. It's a real question. Who is he going to cheat with? With all the legs closed. So if men who roam their little selves out into the world to close legs, well, we will be a bunch of women with no men who are roaming, girl, because they're not going to have anybody to get anything from. They're going to have to go pay a prostitute or something because that's all you're about to get, because no respectable woman is going to open up her legs to you. You see how we have control over this situation? You see how the idea that, well, if he ain't married, or, if he don't care about his relationship, why should she? Or, I don't have loyalty to his relationship. He has loyalty to his relationship. You see how that sloppiness leads to our broken hearts? Can we stop being sloppy out here in the world, ladies? But if we know that's the reality, then, Sonia, then why is it not the reality? Right? If pragmatically as women we know that is the reality, then why is that not how we are moving as women, as a collective? Why are we not operating in that power as women? There's a trail of broken female hearts, all because women don't operate in the way that we know is appropriate. Yes, we can make the reality that we want. That is my whole point. We can do this. It just takes us doing this. And it also takes us putting people in their place. Like when we hear young people and things like that, when we're out and about and we're interacting with each other and we hear these narratives, correcting that stuff. Being like, no, you know what? Actually, it will benefit us all if we all get on the same page and just respect each other's womanhood. He won't be running from your house to her house, baby's mama house to baby's mama house. If you say, well, this is going to be our house then, Negro, why didn't you take, oh girl, the clothes for the baby? Why don't you take all of our kids together? Me and her have decided to go have a ladies' night. You can take our kids. You're the father. And we're about to go out together. Can you imagine that world versus you guys fighting with each other? Can you imagine a world where a straying man wouldn't be able to do anything? We think about all the problems women have. Think about pornography. How many women feel some kind of way if their man is watching pornography? Right? But so many things are only made possible by women's participation. I don't understand why women don't stop participating. Like, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us as women? We literally are creating our own prison. We are creating our own prison as women. We are creating our own prison. That's why women will never run the world, y'all. Beyonce said, "Who runs the world, girls?" And she is a whole liar out here. Women don't run the world. We'll never run the world because we're too divided. We don't know how to get ourselves together. We could operate in power as a unit, but we're so busy not being unified. Like just as Black women, we're not unified. What's crazy is you will have channels that are geared toward Black women. My channel is for Black people, but you'll have channels that are geared towards specifically Black women who will then go after Black women. It's like, how in the world does that make sense? Help me make sense of it all. How are you going to be geared toward black women and go after black women in the same breath? Like, come on now. That's schizophrenic as heck. Like, we don't even know how to be for ourselves and be on point. We have to do better. But anyway, that is the end of my rant. I really hope that, this young lady can work it out. I mean, poor girl has had to hire a lawyer. She has a whole YouTube stalker. She has people showing up at her house. The side chick had to fall back. She's like, I think it got too messy for the side chick. It's like, this is crazy. But I wanted to talk about it because even though their whole situation is playing out on YouTube for the whole world to see, these situations go on among women every single day of the week. These situations go on among women every single day of the week. So we're able to watch their whole situation, but it's not like none of us has never seen anything like what's going on there. We all know the story of some guy that got two chicks pregnant at the same time, had a girlfriend, cheated on her long term with some other chick, spread the light. Like, we've all heard that story. We've all heard the narrative. But the fact that this is so open and so public, like when I tell you my heart hurts for that young lady. A young lady who tried to do everything right. Right? She's not a perfect person, but she's a little square girl. Little teeny tiny square young girl. She went to college. She started a business. She has her little YouTube channel. She had her little family, with little portraits of her family on the wall. And, she's making little cheesy videos about whose tooth came out today, and then to just watch her be degraded, all because as women, we don't have loyalty for each other, is insane. It's just insane. And it just got me thinking about how, as women, we create the situations that we despise. As women, we create the men that we despise. As women, we create the climates for our own abuse that we despise. And we have the power to put an end to a lot of this. We may not be able to change the nature of people who aren't going to be good people, but we definitely have the power to make it very hard for somebody to move funny, to make it very difficult. And we just have to choose to make that choice. But anyway, let me get out of here, y'all. Let me end ladies' night because Mr. had all the flipping jokes, you guys. I mean, Mr. had all the jokes. All the jokes for ladies' night. He's a whole comedian out here. Like an entire comedian. I cannot. This video is going to go unlisted. So yes, you can watch it. You can share it if you have the link. But it's going to go unlisted because you guys know I don't like to bog my channel down with like too many miscellaneous conversations, but I always leave them unlisted so that if you have the link, you can always listen to them. So I have a slew of videos that are unlisted. Maybe I should make an unlisted playlist because I feel like if you weren't there for it, you'll never see it. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.